Allahayinawa, Yahweh, Achad, Shema, Yashar Allah, Yahweh, Allahayinawa, Yahweh, Achad, Shema, Yashar Allah, Yahweh, Allahayinawa, Yahweh, Achad, Shalom Akim, Zahad, Spirit, Wind, Judah of the GMS Mississippi Camp, giving all honor and glory to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, by Shemi Habashai, by Hashem Kodash. I also want to give double honors to our elder apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone, Ruel, and peace and blessings to the house of David the elect. All right. Shalom to you, brothers and sisters. All right. Today I want to go into a live stream, all right, entitled, Don't Be a Demon Unto Yourself. All right. Because a few years ago, the spirit was heavy on the house of David, right? The body of Yahushai, on basically doing epistles, videos, not going out in the world so much, not going out so much, not always being out, pleasing your flesh in the world. And, the typical thing is really against, Sophia, all right? And that was something that I think it came out a lot in 2018, because apparently the spirit was ready to separate his hopeful elect from the condemnation of Babylon, right? So it'd behoove you to have detached your spirit, all right? Detach your spirit, all right, from the spirit of Babylon. But on the other end of that spectrum, there's always a balance of admonition, all right? So yeah, we get into the scriptures of not being conformed to this world, and, brothers not being, always in the world, always just going out. But there's another side to that as well. Another side that calls for admonition and exhortation. And that's, brothers who are more homebound, all right, to not be demons unto ourselves, man. And I say ourselves and not yourselves because, I'm somebody that's more inclined to just being at the house. But I can tell you that, if you're in this truth, you have to find your balance. Not so much as far as, you're going out to a club or just bars all the time, but you still have to find your balance if you're homebound. You can step to a park, go somewhere if you can, all right, if it's in your vicinity or your proximity, to go around a body of water, all right, be around a body of water, you know what I mean? Go to certain events that's kind of fit for your spirit, because like it says in Ecclesiastes, why die from being over righteous, So you could be a demon unto yourself if you never go out, You could be a demon unto yourself if your face is always in your phone, all right? Because your flesh still is going to call. So you could go from building in the spirit in the house to really just pleasing your flesh all the time in your house. So just being in balance, man. All right? It's okay. Hey, because going back, I can't remember the exact account, but going back to the time of King David, when he was in a time of sorrow, all right, because of the loss of his seed, all right, he wasn't grooming himself. But I think one of his servants, all right, confronted him like, hey, you haven't groomed your beard, this, that, and the third, showing you that, hey, man, how about Shema Shai? We don't look like bombs, man. All right. So you know how it is, you feeding the spirit. Only thing you're concerned about is the inward man. All right, that's cool to a certain extent, but you still can't neglect the outward man. You still can't neglect the flesh. All right, in order to properly, all right, nourish the spirit, you're going to have to feed the flesh from time to time. All right, and feed the flesh doesn't make you wicked. All right, and everything is done in balance. So it's okay. All right, like I said, it's okay for a brother to, hey, step out, go to a park. Hey, maybe you can step out, get a drink. Go to a restaurant where they play music. They got certain restaurants where they got live musicians, man. That's scriptural. The scriptures tell you it's a rock. It goes into, all right, a musician and wine. How those two things are good things, man. So brothers like myself have to be reminded of those things. If you got a reel, hey, go out with your reel, man. Because if you're at the house all the time, that doesn't mean you're spiritually superior than a brother that goes out more than you, man. Because being at the house all the time, you can become your own liability, man. All right? You just inside your head, you reflecting on negativity. All right, you daydreaming about this negativity, man. All right? Your flesh is still there. All because you're not in the world, per se, that doesn't mean your flesh is turned off. All right? Sometimes being around your phone, all the time is a liability, man. All right. That's 5G. In most cases, your phone is emitting. So that's not good for you anyway. Okay. Going to Sirach, the 14th chapter. Basically, don't deprive yourself of a good day. Okay. So like I said, we've been in this truth. A lot of us have been in this truth for a decent amount of time, whether it's 5 years, 10 years, all right, 2, 3 years, whatever. And you're going to realize that, you just one-sided in this truth can throw you off balance majorly, meaning, you watch the videos, you read, but how do you balance yourself out? And that's very important. Now, we can't be simple and just please our flesh all the time and say, I'm balancing out. You have to have discretion to know how do you balance yourself out. But I'm here to tell you as a man that you cannot be one-sided in this truth. All right. Hey, buy you some new clothes that's affordable within your budget. Keep yourself groomed. Put the oils in your beard. Take time out to sort of have downtime. Watch a movie. Get a drink, whatever it may be. Like I said, play dress up, take your rib out. Those things are needed for your spirit. You have to please your flesh to please your spirit. Because if you ignore your flesh is going to demand you give it need. All right, your flesh is going to demand that you feed it, and you're trying to suppress it. Next thing you know, you're doing all types of stuff that you weren't planning to do that's throwing you off the spirit anyway. All right, so if you feed the flesh, you might as well do it in balance, The flesh is a hungry wolf, and if you don't feed it, it's going to start feeding on you. So going back to the book of Sirach, all right, the 14th chapter, all right, don't defraud yourself of a good day, man. All right, it says, eat, take, sanctify thy soul, because there's no partaking of dainties in the grave. Something to that effect. All right. Well, like I said, you could be at the house all the time, and you're not, that's not natural either. We weren't made to be in some apartment all the time where all we do is go to work, go home, go to work, go home. Some people are more geared towards that than others, but you still have to find a medium, man. I know the Elder Kazak brought out an analogy before. An analogy was going into, he was breaking down when you buy a bottle of wine, all right, when you first open a bottle, all right, you have to let it sit for like 20 minutes. So, I asked, like, why is that? Because basically, all right, the same reason when a man gets off work, he sort of has the air out, so to speak. Same thing with the wine. The wine has to breathe, all right? So if you go to work, go home, or if you're at the house all day, maybe you work from home or whatever it may be, you can become frustrated and uptight, or you can find yourself deviating into your own devices that's not conducive for your spirit, man. All right? That's right. That's the perfect word. We have to decompress, man. And don't feel guilty about doing certain things you're geared to do, because Yahweh Shema Shai gave you that liberty in this truth, man. But just like that wine, all right, you have to decompress. All right, you have to breathe. All right. Now, I'm gonna be upfront with you. If I pop a bottle, a lot of times I don't wait 20 minutes, but on paper you're supposed to wait about 20 minutes and let the wine breathe. And that's how humans are, man. You know how stress can kill you, but a lot of times stress comes from you are literally pent up. So like the brother just put on the comment board, you have to decompress. That's a lot. That's how the brother put on the comment board. You have to decompress, man. All right, what does it mean? Oh, somebody is uptight, man. All right, like myself, when I stop exercising, I can easily become uptight, man, because I have to decompress, I have to de-stress, And it's easy to become like that because the construct of Babylon is just you hustling and bustling, you working, all right? Well, like I said, you might be somebody that's homebound and you just on the computer all day, watching news videos, and you might watch some, whatever folly you watch or whatever. Then you watch the apostles. But if you're just in front of that computer all day, that's not healthy either, man. We humans, all right? We're supposed to be in the elements, man. We're Israelites, all right? So, yeah, walk around the park if you can. Go play with the ducks, if you can, Go to the farmer's market, yeah? Deal with the elements. Feed your senses. see, touch, smell, hear, taste, all those things. Don't be caught up into an artificial reality, all right? Because truth be told, most of the things on your computer, the things into your phone, your attention is given to an artificial reality, man. So it's cool to come back to reality, or then deal with the present, all right? Those things are good. It's good, like I said, to maybe got some blues singer, all right? We can draw inspiration from the earth around us. That's right, brother. Hey, well said. So like I said, this has been on my spirit for about a week. I was just thinking about, the spirit get on the behavior of brothers that, they go out or whatever, they feed the flesh, they drink or whatever. But some brothers, they just naturally not like that. Some brothers are naturally more inclined to be at the house. But I'm here to tell you, that could be detrimental too if you're not weighing it in a balance. Your flesh can take over whether you in the world or at the house. All right, so you have to learn how to replenish your spirit. Like I said, keep your body and your spirit clean and fresh. Well, you're gonna have days where you slothful or whatever, but just in general, man. Like I said, like the scripture said, give and take and sanctify our soul, man. Keep yourself groomed. Something I've learned is that sometimes the mood or the spirit you in is based on what you're doing to yourself. If you then you didn't put effort into your clothing, now you have a sort of don't get around me spirit, Like I said, not saying we walking around wearing designer. I mean, hey, but I just mean like if you're not putting effort into keeping your clothes clean and you put on dingy stuff, that change your spirit, man. We not supermodels, but we not bums either. Although we did have that stigma, all right, of it's being called bum counts, but that was because we didn't have that uniform like the Pharisees did, man. The clothing has vibes, man. So I know how it is when you come into the truth and the only thing you care about is the truth and you neglect everything else. But that's not really the spirit that Yahweh Shema Shai wants you in. He wants you to be balanced. So yeah, you handling your business in the spirit, but you still are balanced in the flesh, because once you're balanced in the flesh, guess what? You're more balanced in the spirit. Now you can absorb new information, all right? You went and saw that movie, all right? You went and saw that movie. Now that it shed your light on it shed insight on a particular scripture. You see how that works? All right? But just like that wine bottle that has to breathe, that wine has to breathe when you pop the top. Sometimes you have to get a change of scenery and breathe a different air so you can decompress, man. But ultimately, all those things are for your salvation. It's for your path, man. All right? So let me scroll in this comment board. I know brothers have some precepts that's rolling out, but yeah, it can't be righteous over much. Because, excuse me, at the end of the day, you have to know the nature of yourself. You got a spirit inside you, and you got the flesh inside you. Your spirit is held captive by the bonds of your flesh. And you got to feed that little wolf, man. If not, it's going to consume you. Okay? Sirach 37:27. My son, prove thy soul and thy life, and see what is evil for it, and give not that unto it. Con. All right, but it also says prove your soul. So you have the liberty to go and experiment to see what works for you and what doesn't work for you, as long as it's within the confines of the law. All right, Sirach 40:20. Wine and music rejoice the heart. The water, brother. Perfect scripture I was looking for. But the love of wisdom is above them both. But it tells you that wine and music rejoice the heart. So you might have that cool vibe where you in the living room or you in a room by yourself with your rib. You light an incense. You might light your sage, your Palo Santo. You might put on that neo soul or that reggae or whatever you like. That's your thing. We not micromanaging you, all right? But you set a vibe in your house, and that allows your spirit to decompress. I might pop a bottle, all right? Now, what you pop, hey, that's what you like. But all those things collectively, it helps you decompress, and that's healthy. See, I like to go into health and wellness, all right? That's part of it, man. Because if you don't bend, you're going to break. Okay? See where we at. Okay. Same on my side. I was working home. Really need to do something like going out. Yeah, going out doesn't mean, you at the club, You know, got the shirt off, security telling you, like, you ain't got to be on that. That doesn't mean, you know, you always on that extremity, that level of extremeness when it comes to going out. Going out can mean you going to going to the park, going to a picnic. You know, you might get invited to a party. You know, you could go to a gathering based on your description, because the scriptures speak about if you are among the indiscreet. So they might have some party that your kinfolk had is not dangerous, and you post it on the wall. You might got a beer in your hand. You might drink, you might not. You might fix you a plate, eat the spaghetti, eat a piece of cake, you know, speak to everybody and go. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. But those things are honestly good for your spirit. And I had to learn that, okay? You can be a demon unto yourself. You know, you just at the house, but you're not benefiting yourself at the house, you know? All right? Sirach 14:14, defraud not thyself of the good day, and let not the part of a good desire overpass thee. All right? Let's see. And Eve played heavy on us by telling the world to stay inside. Yeah, we in the freaking cage during that quarantine, you know? So then you have to find ways to, you know, be creative to keep yourself balanced, you know? This topic has been on mine off and on for a while. We have to be balanced. Hey, balance is key. Balance is key, you know? Proverbs 27:9. Ointment and perfume rejoice the heart. So that the sweetness of a man's friend by hearty counsel. Hey, but going back to that analogy with the ointment and perfume. Now, what is in your oils? All right, your oils that have the different herbs in it, all right? Different spices in it. All right, our culture is heavy on that. If it wasn't so, why did King Solomon have those spices imported from thousands of miles, man? He was serious about that, man. All right. Proverbs 11:11. It says, a false balance is abomination to Yahweh, but a just weight is his delight. All right. Galatians 5:1. Stand fast, therefore, in the liberty wherewith Hamashiach have made us free, and be not entangled again with the yoke of bondage. All right. Also, brothers can pick up a new hobby outside. Photography is a suggestion. You know what? And that's very interesting, man. I really appreciate photography, especially when the subject matter is nature. You know, the Most High is an artist, you know, so to capture his creation at the right angles at the right time of the day, man, it's just, it can be breathtaking sometimes, man. All right, but to me, you know, I've noticed the different designs on butterflies and hummingbirds or certain trees. I know the certain trees the Most High have, they kind of just catch your eye. Like, I don't know if brothers could catch it on this phone, but I'm looking at this bird fly. Yeah, I'm looking at the bird flies, like this white bird by itself. You know, I don't know if it's a pelican or what, but it's just a white, beautiful bird. You know, and you know, I'm always at the reservoir, and this helps my spirit. And I'm starting to realize if I wait to do a lesson, my spirit be kind of stale. Like, it's like I feel like I'm missing something. I feel like I'm dry. But then when I start doing the video and I start talking and the scriptures start coming on the comment boards, you know, I start to feel like that wine bottle that the top popped and now I'm breathing, man. All right, but if I'm just at the house, you know, inside my head, I'm not being beneficial to myself or to the body, man. So I can't look at a brother and be like, hey, he always going out. Well, hey, that brother has to learn his balance, but I have to learn my balance as well, because a lot of times it's two different type of brothers in the truth. You got the brother that's outgoing, and you got the brother that's homebound. But I'm doing this lesson, all right, because the brother that's homebound, all right, he has to find his balance too. It ain't always healthy, like I said, to be sitting in front of a computer screen all day or looking at your phone all day. Sometimes you gotta tap back into your natural habitat. All right, Job 12:7. From Great Millstone Daily Bread 4, it says, but ask now the beasts, and they shall teach thee, and the fowls of the air, and they shall tell thee. All right, Job 12:8. Speak to the earth, and it shall teach thee, and if the fish of the sea shall declare unto thee. All right, Kai. Hey, another thing I like watching, speaking of watching, like I said, it's just some personal preference, man. It's a million things you can watch on Netflix or whatever you're streaming, but that series Planet Earth, you know, you look at certain scriptures with a different light. You understand creation better, you know. Let me see. GMS take heed, Israel. All right. Ecclesiastes 7:16. That's right. Be not righteous over much, neither make thyself over wise. Why shouldest thou destroy thyself? Like I said, you know how it is. You first come into this truth, all right? You come in, a lot of times you just, all the thing you do is, if you in school, you go to school, then you go home and watch videos. Or if you are already on your own, you go to work, you go home and watch videos. But at some point, you have to find your balance. That's why the scripture says, don't eat too much honey because you will vomit it. Don't absorb too much of the word without having an outlet, because after a while, your spirit is not going. You're not going to want to read. You're not going to watch. You're not going to want to watch the videos. Sane goes into sanitary, sound, clean, or healthy. Wow, I have to look that up, brother. I didn't know that. That's beautiful. But that's pretty much the point. We got to make sure that we're not demons unto ourselves, man. Like I said, that's the flip side, which, the spirit had been getting on that heavy a couple years ago, like about brothers not going out in the world so much, not partying so much, doing all this other stuff. Find your balance and balancing yourself out. But then there's the other part where you got brothers they naturally don't go out that much. They are homebound, but they're sort of self-destructive in their own confines. All right? Because you got this device called your cell phone or a computer that keeps you glued inside of your house far longer than how much you need to be inside the house. Hey, if you got a decent neighborhood, you can walk around the neighborhood, man. Like a brother mentioned, picking up a hobby. Hey, it's more than life, because the elders have been getting on, the Dallas brothers have been getting on, like the horny demon, the lust demon. Hey, it's more than life than doing the works and then thinking about women. I know your flesh can get the best of you. I'm in the flesh too, But there's more in life than just women. You could take up a painting class. You could take up a meditation. You could take up yoga. You could take up, photography, like the brother said. You can learn how to play an instrument. You can make songs for the Most High in your own time. I ain't saying go out and get a record deal and be like Rakai, put those videos out, but you could have your own thing going in your own time. Those things are good for your spirit, man. Okay? You could jog, pick up jogging, Like I said, it ain't about, okay, I'm in the truth now. Let's go look for some females. We did the works. Let's go look for some females. Hey, man, be an Israelite, be a prince, man. All right? King Solomon dealt with everything, man. He had the women, as it's recorded, but he dealt with things, man. Wisdom of Solomon 7, he understood the elements. He understood how the elements of the earth work. He understood how the currents of the wind work, man. He understood the virtues of roots, man, and herbs and flowers and the nature of men. All right, but a lot of those things, you think he learned everything just from reading? No, he experienced things, man. It tells you that a man that traveled, he know of many things. All right, he know of many things, and the proof on that is the book of Ecclesiastes. King Solomon was actually experimenting. All right, he was trying different things out. Speaking of travel, that's another thing that you can do. Now, you don't have to go overseas. That might not be wise right now, but you could just drive to another state, some event they got going on. Brothers is into gemstones. You might go to a different city to go to a gem and mineral show. Get a room. Spend a night, come back. Whatever. Go to a restaurant. It's simple, but it's good for your spirit. Some brothers gonna find out that driving a long distance is good for your spirit, man. It's not for every brother, but driving 3 hours, 6 hours, that's actually good for your spirit, man. But I think that's pretty much the point. I know I surpassed, what I really wanted to, hit the mark on. All right, being inside too much has demons around that can mess with you. Hey, that's a fact. Being around too much, they got demons on it. So, hey, it's always an attack on you, man. All right? Like, especially in these apartment buildings here, neighbors making noise can bug you out. Heck yeah. Also, if you want to go to the gym, how could I forget the gym? To release some energy. Right? Exercise profit of little, but it still profits. And that's very beneficial, man. We are pent up in Babylon, man. So it's good to have that medium, that hobby, that allows your spirit to release itself. And that's all I'm saying, you know? Sometimes your self-esteem is affected based on how you treat yourself, you know? Like, yeah, we're not superficial, and I know how the spirit is. You don't want to come off as worldly or materialistic or superficial, but it's okay to treat yourself. It's okay to buy some new clothes that's on sale. You know, it's okay to, hey, get your hair cut. It's okay to keep your beard groomed. It's okay to do those things that make you feel good, man. Sometimes you'll be surprised how your confidence will be affected based on how you feel, man. Based on how you making yourself feel. You'll be surprised how your own value is affected based on your everyday hobbies, man. You know? Hey, brother said, oh yeah, assembling with the brothers, assembling with brothers helps too. It does, man. When you leave camp with brothers, like you just leave camp, you be powered up in the spirit, man. Look to take down the city, man. You know? Or you might do a lesson with a brother. But y'all might go and grab something to eat, man. That's good for your spirit, man. I might run out to the movies and catch a movie that could relate back to the scriptures, or a movie that might not relate to the scriptures. It's just a good movie. That's okay. You know? It's okay to do that. You know? But basically, doing this lesson, like I said, I've done this live stream. Brothers and sisters were edified because, we want to please Yahweh Shema Shai. We have to look at ourselves objectively and understand that there's more to us that we have to take care of besides our spirit. There's other parts of us that we have to take care of, to keep us balanced, to keep us sane, to keep us on point. Sometimes poor habits come from you just not balancing yourself, So I mean, you got poor habits or you keep falling for the same thing because you're a bad person. No, you're just not feeding the wolf, so the wolf he's gonna feed on you, But we all in the flesh, we all fight the same battle, But with that, I hope you brothers and sisters were edified. All right, once again, I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai, by Shon Hakudash, double honor to our elder apostles and elder bishops, the great millstone rule well. Peace and blessing to the house of David the elect, Abba Abba, come out Shalom. And I'm going to look up that word sanitary too. All right, Shalom.